George, mute yourself.
Yeah, I'm muted right now.
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello. Good day. Hope everybody is all right. Give me 1 second here. Lee, do I have Lee Honish here?
You do.
Hi, Lee. How are you?
I'm freezing to death once again. This is day 2 of my freezing to death in the Bay Area trip.
See, you're in California. You should come to Chicago, and then you can see what real weather's like. That's what you gotta be strong here to do that. You gotta be tough.
I chased my daughter up here, who came up here for a family matter. So I'm out by the San Francisco Bay, freezing my rear end off for the second consecutive day of freezing to death. Cold.
Cool. Well, we got a lot to cover. The $25 billion settlement. A lot of other news. I mean, there's actually, we have a lot to cover, so let's get into it. But Lee, before we get started, I wanted to address this because I got a few emails this week. I got a few Facebook posts, LinkedIn posts, all this stuff. And they're like, what's Agent Redefined? What's CDAT? So basically, what Lee and I have done is, Lee and I have decided to become, to join forces, all right? And Lee's CDAT and Agent Redefined are now one in together. So it's like CDAT and Agent Redefined had a baby, and then CDAT, the blue version, is the one that came out, okay? Is that fair enough to say?
That's a way of explaining it.
Okay, so you guys, we're going to give you guys real stuff. I mean, if you guys heard us before, I mean, Lee and I are both actual practitioners in the field. We're not gurus. We do this on our spare time is because we share passion and we share something for the industry, and we're trying to do it the best we can for the industry. However, before we get started, let me give you our disclosure. This presentation is designed to provide accurate and authoritative information with regard to the subject matter covered. It is provided with the understanding that the presenter is not engaged in rendering legal, accounting, and other professional advice. If legal advice or other expert professional assistance is required, the services of a competent professional person should be sought. But we will definitely give you guys our opinion. All right, Lee. Lee, I'm going to kite to you. Lee, you're the asset manager.
I'll give my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, and that's why I think some people listen to us because we give you guys the truth. Lee, you guys, I want to tell you guys really quick on how I met Lee because I know there's a lot of new people on this call. And in 2007, I took on my first few short sale files. All right, and I was sitting much like you on the other end of this call. And Lee, I got an email from Lee, and Lee was in Oak Brook, I believe, or in Chicago, and I actually went and saw him. Okay, the basic fundamentals, and remember I brought you pizza, deep dish pizza. Another time I saw you out here.
That's another time, yes.
Yeah. So the key is here, guys, is that you got the information I'm about to show you guys is going to require that you actually do something about it. You could sit on 1,000,001 of these things, and the reason why I'm where I'm at today, why I close 15 plus short sales a month, the reasons why I've done over 100 million in closed short sales in the past few years, is because I've actually taken action and I've actually looked at people from within the industry that are actual practitioners. I traveled the country, I did all this stuff. And Lee, I have to thank you for that because it could have been that one day where I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to go home or I'm going to go to the gym. And fortunately enough, I learned more about loss mitigation, which is really the key to being successful in short sales, in my opinion. And that along with marketing and creating the lead gens. But it's been awesome. And 5 years later, look, here we are, Lee. Me and you are sitting here doing a call together. And the fundamental concepts, Lee, that you taught me, I really applied those. And then I took my real estate background, because I've been an agent for 10 years, and I created a full business off of the distressed market. And that's what this is about, you guys. Okay? So I've done my fair share of going around, and I want to point out a scenario. And Lee, we spoke about this yesterday, and I wanted to put this up here because we spoke. You guys, it was about, 9:30 at night last night, Lee, and me and you were talking, and we always talk about, the market and what he's seeing in his market, just because I find it really fascinating on what realtors are doing. And you went into this whole psychological thing, Lee, and you guys, it comes down to one thing, and it's like, what drives you, okay? So I put this up here for me. My family drives me, okay? It used to be vacations, it used to be the car, but now it's this little monster here on the left. And that is my drive. And you guys do not understand the opportunity that is sitting in front of you. And if you don't, you either can do it or somebody else is going to. And it's all going to start by you finding that drive. What drives you, you know? We're going to go through all of the core logic stats, you guys, but literally the state of the market, okay? It's sort of like you look at your glass half empty or half full. But Lee, we spoke about this last night. Realtors, they're dropping like flies. Like, I'm looking at agents in my own office right now, and I'm taking them from 0 to hero in literally 3 months, just on the same systems that we're going to talk about in a few minutes. And it's a mentality shift, okay? You know,
It's mindset.
It's
It is
mindset.
clearly mindset.
That's
Well,
it.
As I've taught and I coach every day on the subject, it comes down to a couple of basic items. Number one is mindset. Okay, so we're in a fear-based market where everybody's in a negative position. How does that not ultimately affect the real estate agents on a day-to-day basis? I mean, if you're on this call and you've got less than 10 listings as a single real estate agent and you're working, 10 hours a day, there's something dramatically wrong with the way you're conducting your business. And the other thing, and you were talking about this earlier, Mike, I live and die by this philosophy called one action.
Yeah.
And I honestly believe that life is about the one action rule. You know, I hate to do, geek out and do the Master Yoda thing, but, there's no try. There's either do or don't in this business. There's no try. There's do or don't. And that's ultimately what it comes down to. There's no one greater action than another. In my life, and most of you know me, I do a lot of crazy extracurricular activities. I don't place none of those things have any greater importance to me. They are all just one action. And if you adopt that philosophy and have the right mindset, there's nothing you can't accomplish.
That's complete, because this is the constant thing, Lee. The market's tough. Okay, what's tough about this market? Okay, there are people like myself. There's several REO agents that I'm friends with across the country. There's other agents in different markets that are absolutely doing very well, but it's because they've taken what the market has given to them. And one thing in real estate, you guys, that I learned in the past 10 years, and I can't believe I've even been doing this for 10 years, and I don't have hair anymore, but the point is that you guys have to shift with the market. Like, where's the market heading? What are the percentage of sales? What's selling, okay? Have you adapted or have you not adapted? Unfortunately, people are in two boats, and we're talking specifically on short sales, but I will give you guys some REO advice on this stuff too. And you guys have to understand where the market's headed, and you as an agent, you as a business person, okay? The fact that you have not adapted, or if you don't adapt to the market, it's your own fault. All right? It's really your own fault. And it all starts with this. If you guys do not follow, I follow all CoreLogic stats. CoreLogic, I think, has like some of the most accurate information out there. And your job as a real estate agent, it directly relates to the economy, you guys. Look at the stats right here, okay? You're seeing an income fall, all right? You're seeing home ownership rates die down. I mean, you have to take all of these type of stats into consideration when you're focusing on your business plan and or your business model. And what Lee's mentioned right now about mindset and doing that is true. This is all mindset, you guys. And I want to show you guys some staggering deals, but let's go into a little bit more specific. Where are the deals at in this marketplace, okay? Well, Lee, do you think divorce is up?
Oh, I know. Well, actually, truthfully, without looking at the numbers, I would say divorce is down. It's cheaper to keep them at this moment.
Yeah. Yeah, like
I
watched Revenge
actually
last night.
advise
That exact content was on Revenge last night, that show on ABC. But you guys, there's divorce out there, probate, estate sales. Think about what is selling right now. Do you have connections with probate attorneys? We're going to be doing a very in-depth marketing analysis, and I'm going to be doing this in the next 4 weeks consecutively. And I'm going to show you guys literally on how to strategically align yourself, how to market, how to set up systems, and how to dominate. Because I don't get it. I cannot make it any more clear than what I'm going to be showing you guys. And where are the deals, okay? I know a guy out in LA that he gets $60,000 a month from property management. We've just hired 3 new leasing agents. Rents are up. You put a property in my market for rent, it's gone. That's a quick $2,000. You know, relocations. Obviously, REOs and short sales are a huge part of the market, and I'll give you my opinion on REOs and short sales right now. But dude, we're talking about 40 or 50% of the market. I'm going to back that up with stats right now. But you guys, the point is, you got to focus on where the action is. This market has shifted. This isn't all right, let's go ahead and I'm going to wait for the traditional real estate transaction, and I'm going to be doing this, and we're going to go out and see some houses, and we're going to go out and get coffee, then we're going to go do this, and then we're going to go do that, and it's going to be just dandy. Life's just perfect. This is not Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, you guys. If you do that, fine. But you're fighting with 90% of the agents, and that is why you're stressed. That is why people are freaking out right now, because it's all in front of you. All right? How many of you are working with rehabbers right now? Okay, have you ever thought about rehabbers? I'm doing some rehab projects, and I'm going to buy them, I'm going to rehab them, I'm going to turn around and sell those properties. You know, that's 2 transactions for the agents. Are you going to REIT groups? Are you going to real estate investment groups and introducing yourself and letting them know, hey, I have access to all of these properties, and I understand what your profit margins are, and I want to help you. You know, interest rates are 4%. Do you not think there's a lot of long-term money going into buying housing right now? I mean, that's like cheap, free money. It's unheard of. Property management, leasing. I mean, this is where the action is, you guys. You know, these are the best clients. I mean, how many people would like to have a client that does 7 transactions with them over the course of 12 months, and half of those transactions turn into another resale? That's 10 deals off one client. The average agent is only closing 9 in a year. Come on, you guys, wake up. This market isn't bad. This market is full of opportunity. It's just a matter of which way you look at it. Let's look at the distressed market right here. This drives me nuts, Lee. And let's talk about REOs and whatnot. And Lee, you were just in Dallas. We had a booth, right? In Dallas. What was the name of it?
Yeah.
So we had a booth in Dallas.
REO. We went to REOCon.
Mm-hmm. And how many agents were there?
This was a 3-day event, maybe even 4 with a final certification like on a Monday for everybody. But the one message that I've heard that I've been touting for close to 2 years since I heard it the first time out of Freddie and Fannie was, first of all, you only have a 1 in 3 shot for any house that goes to sale seeing the public market. Okay? So only 33% of the houses that are foreclosed upon actually see the public market. Now, they had also stated at that time that you should expect the numbers to actually dwindle. And that was 2 years ago. Now, what have we seen over the last couple of years from 5-Star and, you know, Fannie Mae, Freddie? What have they all said? I mean, when we get down to it at the end of the day, and this was restated at REOCon, if you are waiting for that REOs are going to show up in the next 3 months mentality, or that the market's going to be increasing anytime soon, you can officially forget that. Even some of the biggest names in REO are now converting to teaching and doing boot camps on short sales because it's the only game in town. This is an absolute fact. And for the people who do REOs, this is literally an undisputable fact. REOs are drying up as a listing product for agents, period.
Yep.
It only leaves a couple of different, you are either way at the top and you're one of the guys who gets hundreds and hundreds of listings, basically everything for the area, or you're, I call them sort of A, B, and C players. The A players are the ones who get the couple hundred listings from Freddie or Fannie. The B players get in the teens to 20s. And then there's the people who get the dribbled accounts, like 1 or 2 deals. No matter how you slice it, I mean, it's going to decrease. And everybody who does REOs right now will tell you they're decreasing. And I cannot even, if I was allowed to discuss names, which I promised Bob Middleman that I would no longer discuss publicly any designation letters, programs, organizations, or names of other speakers, gurus, or trainers. So insert name here basically is all I can say anymore. It's a fact. they're all converting to short sales. They're all trying to get $5,000 for a boot camp. They're all chasing and pushing people into short sale methodology right now. This is happening today.
Well, here, Lee, let's go back. I mean, for any REO agent on this call, I absolutely applaud and commend you, okay? The reason why I absolutely applaud and commend you is because REOs is a lot of freaking work, okay, you guys? Everyone wants REOs. It's like, REOs.
Not only that, wait, I'm gonna disclose this because I was an REO asset manager. And I know Tony Rosales over at REO Warrior, and he was an asset manager as well. And he and I both joke about this all the time. The abuse that REO agents take from banks, if you guys think you are treated bad doing short sales or deed in lieu or whatever you're doing with a bank, if you think you're treated bad, multiply it by 20. And that's what it's like to be an REO listing agent. It's abuse to the 20th power. Because, and the way I describe it, usually the analogy goes like this. You're on a date with a bank that is pretty much driving to an event and has said to you point blank, on the drive to the dance, on the date, I like you. I'll probably go home with you. I will probably work with you. You're probably the person I'm going to have sex with. However, if I find a better deal while we're out tonight, I'm going to leave you behind and take that person. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
and REO agents eat that up every single day. If they sneeze sideways, if they look sideways, if they question an approval, if they, back down from a value, I mean, you name it. And I mean, it's ridiculous. I watch agents at REOCon and 5-Star, especially the female ones. They will literally throw their bodies at asset managers in the hopes of just being recommended to be on a list to get REO properties. It's freaking unbelievable to me.
Well, I mean, not only that, it's a lot of work. I mean, REO agents, I feel bad for them. They're paid, 6%, and they co-op 3%. They do 90% of the work on a deal. And now, you guys have to understand, you have a whole property management aspect of it. Literally, in the Chicago market right now, okay, there's a group, like some kind of activist group right here, it's just on the news, and they're literally saying that any abandoned property within 100 feet of a school will be fined $1,000 a day unless there's a 24-hour watchman on premise. I mean, that's insane. That's going to be shuffled to the REO agents. Grass maintenance, board outs, clean outs, and that's money you supply up front, you guys. So what amazes me is that, in my opinion, negotiating short sales, handling short sales is literally a process. It's no different than an REO process, okay? And REOs are great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not an REO agent. I wouldn't mind having some accounts. But when you look at these numbers, you guys, okay, and everyone thinks all shadow inventory, generally speaking, as I spoke to agents across the country, most people think shadow inventory is all REO or bank owned. It just hasn't been released on the market. No, you guys, shadow inventory is properties currently in foreclosure. Roughly 75% of the shadow inventory are short sale candidates. Okay? But yet, you'd have less than 2-3% of the market concentrate in the short sale arena? I mean, this is like Justin Timberlake, Lee. This is like sexy's back. I mean, short sales are back. Short sales are definitely coming full force. There's a huge push for them. They're the leading loss mitigation option left.
Let's really follow how insane this logic is. All right, most of the people on this call, most of the people that came onto this call or even on any of our lists, you guys have been doing short sales for the last 4 years. And because of market wear down and what I call the grinding effect and what it's done to you and not marketing appropriately to make yourself the center point, now you're just as behind the curve. In a lot of cases, I coach every day. I'd love to say that I coach more about marketing. That's not true. In fact, the last 4 blogs I wrote are more about motivation than they are about marketing, because I think marketing is so simple when you understand the psychology of the homeowner, when you understand how little agents actually know about marketing, and understanding conversion. It's phenomenal to me that most of you are just using, word of mouth and basically living off of what you've done, but yet you still work double the amount of hours that you did this time a year ago when you had more listings. What has dramatically happened in the last year that has caused you guys to start this spiral? And look, I do a lot of one-on-one coaching. I do a lot of consulting, and it's the core of Default Advocate. It came out of my coaching group. It came out of the people, I had to find a solution to get around one big psychological factor, and I want to cover this. Homeowners don't like you. Homeowners don't like real estate agents. And my proof is this. They would rather ask a bank for advice than a real estate professional about their house. That's insane. That's literally delusionally insane, because if you ask 10 people will tell you that they hate corporations and banks on some level. But yet you'll go back to a corporation, to a bank, to ask them advice for real estate matters. Shouldn't it be a realtor? Shouldn't it be an advocate? I mean, this is not like groundbreaking stuff. This is relabeling and moving forward into an innovative direction. You couple that with fill in the blank names that are gurus who for the last 5 to 10 years have told you, pick up the phone, call the neighbors, go knock on doors, go read this script, go do it this way, go do it that way. Just stick to the script, stick to the funnel. Mass mail, send out your send-out card. Keep at it. You know what? That's 3 to 5% results. That's the equivalent of guessing. Okay? Now, it might have a return on investment, and it might actually get you listings, but I'm telling you, the way that to market and be successful in this market is all based on understanding the mindset and the psychology of the homeowner and understanding that interruptive marketing is archaic. And I'll prove that to everybody on the call. Everybody on this call, Mike included, okay? How many channels of TV do you watch when you watch TV, Mike?
Like 4.
4. And why is that, Mike? Why do you watch 4 channels of TV at the same time?
Because I only have that amount of time to watch TV in a day, but I like that.
Okay,
I like those channels.
But follow me on this, Mike. So you watch 4 programs at the same time. Probably 3 of them are movies that you've seen before. What happens when you come up on a commercial?
I switch the channel.
You mean you don't sit through millions of dollars of advertising?
Nope.
I mean, they spend a lot of money to excite you, to be involved in a medium that I guarantee every real estate agent would take a free commercial, wouldn't they? Wouldn't you, Mike? Wouldn't you take a free television commercial?
Yes.
Yeah, right. But what do you think the results are going to be?
Not good.
No, they're not.
You got to hit them enough
times.
times.
Mass mailing or buying a giant postcard. That's the other thing that blows me away. You know, when I went to the National Association event, there were so many postcard and send-out card vendors that it was phenomenal. And they all tout these amazing success rates. And it's like on design and size and uniqueness. Have you ever had a successful mass mailing program?
No, not to a cold list, but to our own successful list. Yes. Lee, but we're going to go through your marketing stuff because that's an hour-long presentation.
Yes. I just want to make it clear.
Yeah, I get it.
We get it.
I get it. We're going to go through that, and that's week 2. We're going to be doing a 4-week boot camp with you peeps, and we're going to kick you in the butt and show you how to market and get deals because it's actually really easy. But here, let's get back. So before we get off track, look at this, you guys. Okay, look how many of this is REO inventory, the dark blue, and the rest of this is short sale candidates. But you have, this is our point, is that you have people paying $2,000 plus travel expenses to go to these REO events in hopes that they might land this when you have so much opportunity right here and you don't need to spend that much to market and you don't have to kiss any butt. That's the point.
You know what you could do? I mean, this is the mind blower to me. I mean, because I teach marketing every day. You really only have to spend like a couple $100 to do good marketing.
Yeah.
And you should be able to generate 20 listings in a month from it. But people, 100 leads bought from literally any source that'll give you a reputable 61-day list. If you worked 100 leads consistently for a month, you should be able to convert 20% into a listing, or at least put them into a drip campaign that, makes sense. But $1,000 plus travel and everything to go to Texas for REOCon or for 5-star. I mean, they spend crazy money. And basically get nothing other than, you should be doing short sales. That's what they were told at REOCon. technology, use marketing, and
Do
there are
short
no
sales.
more REOs.
Well, let's look at the market. And you guys can just see, and what I want you guys to see here is I'm getting to a point, and you got the year-to-year change. You know, Chicago now has the longest month supply of distressed homes. So whoopee, I'm going to be in business for quite a while. But long story short is that I want you guys to see the percentage of change, and I'm going to use my market for an example. And the percentage of REO changes in my market were negative 13.6%, and the short sales jumped 64%. Okay, and you see that in most markets as I go down this column. All right. Not here in California, but look at the difference in most of these deals. You're seeing a gigantic, the Minnesota people, I mean, I've talked to a few Minnesota people and they're right on track, but I mean, you're seeing an outstanding jump, you guys, in predominantly in the short sales. And that's because the numbers are finally out there. People finally understand that short sales mitigate lenders' loss by 20%. It gets the homeowner out. It's a way to clean up the debt, move it on, and it's in my opinion, our last solution left. And these are stats, guys. So when we're talking, I want you to put this more into context right now, because being good at short sales is just a process. It's a process that we teach you directly. You really just have to not read what we tell you to read or not watch what we tell you to watch to screw it up. And
I think I got to say this. I don't even think it's the process anymore. You know, to quote a friend, I think the deal's the deal. I think you guys could almost, fumble your way through the process. I mean, we certainly improve it. We make it easier. We'll show you what the numbers are. You know, that's what my bread and butter of teaching in this market is. But at the end of the day, the deal's the deal. You guys don't even have the deal to deal with the deal.
There's a better way to do deals than what I see most agents do them. And most people aren't far off.
Wait. If you are using the method of fill in the blank, I mean, you can stack a pile, but you're certainly not going to know how to escalate. You're certainly not going to know how to create a cookie cutter process. I don't even teach escalation anymore, Mike. That's the truth.
If you do it right, you don't have to be in it that much.
That should arise on a file can be corrected at the beginning of the file if it's done correctly.
And that's the point, Lee. These files aren't done correctly. And that's why only 31% of short sales actually succeed, and they still represented 10% of the closed transactions in the third quarter of 2011. So think about it, you guys. If 90% of short sales succeeded, and if people and agents actually took it upon them to get the proper education, to get the right truth on how to do these deals, and if short sales had 90% success rate, is that fair to say that they would represent roughly 30% of the closed transactions? Wow, that's 1/3 of the marketplace. Okay, but yet there's only less than 2% of agents going after this phenomenal, this niche. I mean, it unbelievably just astounds me. I have an agent that we just hired. All right, he's still focusing in the new construction boom. Well, I was about to fire him as soon as I hired him because he's still focusing on the luxury market, the new construction boom. He's got stuck in his head. He wants to be on that, millionaire real estate agent show on Bravo. And I'm like,
Good
dude.
I know those nitwits.
I'm like, good, dude. I'm like, this is not where the deals are at right now, okay? I don't see as many FISBOs. I don't see
this way, Mike.
land
Let's
deals.
be objective about this I want to say this because I get this a lot because I have constantly tried to figure out what do agents do if they're not leasing agents or doing REOs or they're doing short sales.
Sure.
Let's say you are just a traditional buyer or seller, all right? Buyer, seller agent. If you're a traditional buyer's agent, your clients are only going to want short sales or REOs anyway.
Correct.
Because those are quote unquote the deal, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's remove that one. So that means you're a traditional listing agent looking for new home construction or luxury houses. Okay, what do you actually have to say to someone in a market where the value of their property, while it still may have equity, is worth selling? I mean, this is like back to the divorce thing. If I meet someone who's going through a divorce, I'll tell them to work it out. You're in a market where you don't want to liquidate property if you've got any kind of equity because you're tossing millions away.
I have a perfect scenario. Again, someone in my office, okay, has 45, 60 listings. The traditional market, awesome market, he gets the listings, but only 2 of them are closing a month. So working, again, it goes back to the same thing. Look, working twice as hard, right? And it's great to have all the listings, but what's the point of them And if you look, I don't have this stat on these slides, but if you look at the point of them, Lee, and the stats that drive me nuts, and I know the Midwest specifically, but 29%, I believe, of all houses are just sitting there vacant because they can't sell. That tells me the prices are too high. And the other 25% of them ended up being leased out, and they're renting them out because they can't sell them. They've only sold one in four, 24%. I mean,
Absolutely. I mean, if you're not in like a niche market, I'm up in Northern California right now. If you're not like in a Los Altos, Los Gatos, surrounded by Apple kind of niche area where you've got properties that are still increasing in values, I go back to it. Your clients are going to want a maximized dollar figure, which, of course, your agent's finding out the hard way. People want values that are way through the roof that don't really exist.
And they don't have a choice because their loan amounts are that high too, So it's a lot of times they can't even reduce anything. You guys, this is a basic. Okay, I got this. I did my tax returns. I spent $90,000 last year in coaching and returns, and I learned this from a group that I'm part of. What I'm showing you right here cost me $5,000, so take advantage of it. But this is a very from a business perspective, because you guys are real estate agents, you run businesses, right? And I was looking at, at the time, it showed me how to hire my admin, who's actually sitting next to me. Andrea, say hi.
Hi, everyone.
Andrea, my office is a lot warmer than the outside, so she's sitting in here. Anyways, so it showed me how to hire my admin, and they go, okay, the point of this was, okay, and you could look at this for marketing, you could look at this for anything. The thing that I see with most agents in lead generation right now is because we just showed you there's a ton of deals out there, but you guys are going to have to invest in the know how to get them. You're going to have to invest in the marketing it takes to get them. And I see agents literally so scared to invest money, okay? And I want to give you this example. And this is
actually, I'd like to Mike,
go
I want
ahead.
to add a caveat because I do office rebuilds because you're going to do it. Or they invest money badly or incorrectly. They throw bad money at a situation.
Yep, agreed. And it comes down to this, and this was so interesting to me because I learned this and I was like, wow, that makes sense, And you guys have to look at your marketing dollars, whether you're marketing, your education, your coaching, whatever you invest in, you run your own business and you need to invest in it. You can't run your own business and expect it to just leads to come and not reinvest into it. Any restaurant spends certain dollars of advertising. Any business that is out there has a certain budget that they spend in advertising dollars, marketing dollars, education, whatnot. But follow me on this, okay? And the difference between an investment and a cost, okay? Now, on any of your marketing, you guys are independent contractors, and I believe most people are probably S-corped or something, but regardless, any type of investment you make in any of your marketing, and let's just say this is $30,000 a year, okay? An investment, and I'm going to compare this to buying a house versus the cost is going to be the investing in yourself and in your business. And you have to know what your ROI is, your return, okay? To buying the house here, I was going to buy a $30,000 house and I'm going to do all this. It's not tax deductible on the dollars, okay? $30,000 in marketing, where I may get a 33% return on or 50% return on, depending on what campaign you're doing, is tax deductible, okay? If I'm going to buy a house, I have to put all that money up front, okay? And that's the investment I'm going to become a millionaire on, right? I'm going to become the next Trump. And if I spend $30,000 over the course of 12 months, that is money paid finance, or you can pay it up front, but I'd probably be running like a 12-month campaign. So that would be spaced out. The point is it's not taken all out over the course of time. It's not taken all up front, okay? I don't know my guarantee of return in a market like this, buying a house. But on a cost, I know my high likelihood of return. Okay, I know what my ROI is because I've tested it. I've proven it. And I know if I'm going to spend $2,000 in this NOD campaign or pre-NOD campaign, and I'm going to do something like Lee, like your marketing campaign, which works awesome, I know that I'm going to get an 18% return on that, right? So I'll gladly spend X amount of dollars based on an 18% return, okay? On an investment, guys, let's go here. We're going to go invest in mutual funds, okay? I don't have control over those performance in the market like this, whereas a cost on an investment in my advertising, coaching, whatever, I have a high control of my performance. I could cut it off if it's not making a return. I don't have to keep going with it, okay? Any marketing you do and again, this is just the mentality shift, Lee. People who are like, I want to go buy that house. I want to be a rehabber. I want to do this. Well, their return is going to be around 13%, okay? But on something you invest into your own business, you should never accept less than 150% return or something that's going to double your money. And I constantly see this with agents, and it bugs me, and I wanted to share that with you because even my own agents, they're like, well, that costs $300. All right, I don't want to spend that. I'm like, if all $300 did for you was to get you one more listing that you made $3,000 on, is that necessarily a cost? No. And that's what agents have to get through to their heads. You guys work for yourselves, you know. The brokerages out there do not have the money to invest into your performance. You need to do it on your own, okay? That just bugs me. I had to share that.
Actually, you should probably even include a third column, because I wrote a blog about this a couple of days ago, which is, even if you look at it of, okay, but I'm spending the money on marketing. What's real marketing money cost? I mean, it's anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 a month, right? And how many listings do you get? I mean, true conversion to ratio at the end of each month. When I go into an office and I'm rebuilding them out, and this is exactly the format Mike uses, isn't it cheaper for me to hire somebody at $10 to $12 an hour to sit behind a desk, where I'm paying somebody $2,500 a month or $3,000 a month, where I get the write-off because they're an employee, right?
Yes.
So I can put them on a focused schedule of doing marketing in repetition and doing the social media. Doesn't that even have a higher rate of return?
Yes.
Than spending, blindly $1,000 to $5,000 on 3 listings a month by the time it converts out?
Absolutely, because I'm going to invest into someone, like in my offices, you guys, and you guys are more than welcome to come to one of my power days in the city here, but my offices, I have a central admin that does all the marketing for the agents, simply because I know the agents will not do it. It is worth my time and my investment to pay her $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month to do the marketing, which I know increases the results, which then turns into more closed transactions, which then turns into more commissions and more residuals. Okay, I understand that as a business owner, and that's the difference, and that's sort of the mindset I'm trying to shift you guys into, and it's very, very, very important. I can't stress that more. But here, this is an example. I wanted to send this out, and I wanted to show you guys. This came out on Bloomberg, and I was thrilled. I finally saw a positive short sale article. And even though the numbers were a little bit off on it and whatnot, I was happy with it, okay? And marketing can be easy, you guys. Look at the news here, okay? Lee, this is actually the best insert for stage 3 of your monster campaign that you get all your results on. And Lee does that.
Right.
And this is it.
I believe in not only capturing, but dripping. And when you're dripping, think about it, because what's the idiom of sales? How many times do you have to touch a homeowner, or what they would call a quote-unquote prospect if you're using the Zig Ziglar approach? How many times do you really need to talk to a prospect or a homeowner or whatever before they actually convert? And the numbers indicate that if you can educate them or touch them, quote-unquote touch them, with testimonial or education 5 to 15 times, you have a higher rate of return. And because we have technology and e-campaigns, I can send an article like this out with a, hey, saw this, thought it might help kind of campaign behind it. And in the phases of the way I teach marketing, when you are going after a defaulted mindset, the more education you give them, the better the education.
Correct.
The better the conversion.
Lead with the truth, you guys. And let's talk about this, though, Lee. A lot of people have heard about this. I get this call once a week, once every 2 weeks. Someone saying, hey, I heard that you could get, up to $20,000, $35,000. And you guys, this is true, but only for certain types of loan portfolios. It's not on everybody's. Okay? I've done a couple of transactions where our client literally has walked away with like up to $23,000. And there are certain.
Was it Chase?
Yeah, that was the servicer. I don't know who actually owned the note. Yes.
Right.
But you're seeing this come across. But it's stuff like this, you guys, that you need to stay in the news. If you're going to be an advocate, and that's the whole point when Lee created CDAT, and he calls it Certified Default Advocate. If you're going to be an advocate, you know stuff like this, okay? Sign up for your RSS news feed so you get articles sent to you like this. You can share these at the top here on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, and it's free marketing. We're going to go more into that. But I wanted to go into this, Lee. The $25 billion settlement that everyone's been talking about. How does this affect us? What does this do? And there's actually a website on it. I just found this out. You could go to this. It's called thenationalmortgagesettlement.com. And there's a website that literally highlights all the points on here. But I did want to go through. I haven't read through the 29 pages yet, but you could actually download them and read them yourself. And this is something you're going to be asked about. If you're a true advocate, you guys, you know what's going on in the news, and you need to make it part of your daily structure to read the news and keep what's going on. That's what advocates do. That's what people in our industry do. We know what's always going on because we constantly get questions on this. But I did print out the short sale section, okay? So I'm going to talk to what it does for short sales specifically, all right? And is this a win? There's one thing I like a lot on how it helps the process, and I'll point that out, but let's go through them. Banks and servicers shall make information publicly available on short sale requirements. Great. I think that was pretty much always the case, but cool. Banks and servicers shall develop a short sale process that allows homeowners to obtain a short sale evaluation before putting the home on the market. Ding, 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 ding. If you guys remember this, we spoke about this, okay? A month ago, 2 months ago. One of the biggest reasons short sales fail is because we as agents have no idea what the sales price is, okay? If we want to get highest and best price, and if the lenders truly want to get highest and best price, they would understand that the chances statistically of that happening are when the property is listed on the first 2 weeks on the market. That's Real Estate 101. If this does actually get adopted, this would mean that you guys, in my opinion, how I read it, you guys could literally, before you have to put the house on the market, start the short sale process, okay? So that they can do their BPO and let you know where the price is, and then you're going to know, if you have the right tools, that is, you're going to know exactly the dollar amount that's going to take to get that deal not only structured and sold, but settled on behalf of your client. That is a huge, huge advantage, okay? Because what's happening now, the average market time, look on your MLS, you guys. Look at the market time for most of the short sale listings out there. 150 days, 250 days. I saw one for 465 days the other day. I was like, oh my God, how does this agent still have this listing? Didn't he get fired yet? I'm like, that's ridiculous. You know, and that's why listings don't sell. Buyer's agents don't show short sales when the deal's not pre-approved or anything like that. They're scared to because they know that it's going to be a waste of time because only 1 in 3 actually close. This is common sense, you guys. I like this. I think this is great. I just want to make sure it's done, though.
It'll never happen.
So it's great, but again, we got to see what happens. Banks and servicers shall confirm in writing that a request for a short sale has been received. Cool. Does that help us? Not really.
This literally reminds me, Mike, of HAPA and everybody getting their hopes and their dreams raised about HAPA. And look at all this wonderful stuff. And then somebody went, hey, wait a minute. Shouldn't we get the banks to approve this first? And when they sent it to the banks, it came back chewed up like Swiss cheese. I guarantee by the time this is done being lobbied and the servicers get their hands on it, it won't look like this. It will not. This is like HAPA version 2.
I don't know what it is. I just hope that something there. Lee, Lee, you'll be the little devil on someone's left shoulder, and I'm going to be the little angel on the right shoulder. But I like this. Let's go back and forth on this.
It'll never happen.
All right. The confirmation shall include information on the short sale process. I mean, again, all this stuff, the only thing that I thought was really good in here is if that they allow people to send in a short sale package, literally, and get the BPO ordered, and then let the realtors know what to list the property at, or so the realtor has an idea, and they're not doing it with a blindfold on. Now, Lee, we spoke about this last night, and you guys, I didn't read through all this stuff yet, but this really sort of scares me. The immediate aid to homeowners needing loan modifications now, including first and second lien principal reduction. Being in the banking industry, Lee, what is your take on this?
I think it's wonderful for banks to get everybody to believe that they need a loan modification now. In fact, B of A is even taking a stance right now of being proactive and giving loan modifications away for free. They are now doing trial loan modifications with no documentation. What a deal. Gee, what a deal. Look, loan modifications, period, is a pro-bank thing. It has nothing to do with any of this. This is a backdoor for an information grab. I've said it a million times. I've shot a million videos. We've talked about it on these calls a million times. I am so anti-loan modification, it's frightening. I don't know what planet people are on where they think that, and I don't care what the settlement is, they're not going to lower the equity. Okay, they're not going to lower the loan to meet the equity line. They're going to do whatever they can to grab as much information as they can. It is simply an asset management pro-banking thing. I might get paid a couple of payments. I might get more information. At the end of the day, I'm just spreading out my debts to make them more manageable for me in the future. A loan mod is an amateurization of toxic debt. That's all it is. That's all it ever will be. And I mean, how many times has everyone on this call had the homeowner convert out after they've done the loan mod and came to their senses and went, wait a minute, I got an $800,000 loan for the next 40 years on a house that's only worth $300,000 or $400,000. No crap, dude, and you redocumented it, which just makes your short sale twice as hard.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that the loan mod, Lee has an awesome loan mod video. Lee, what's your site? Honish.com?
Honish.com.
Honish.com. There's an awesome loan mod video. I would tell you guys to write that down and go to that. But what I'm worried about is this: let's think just the principal. I mean, like, okay, who qualifies for a principal reduction, and then who doesn't? You know, like, why can't I get a principal reduction? You know, I paid my mortgage on time. I can't get a principal reduction, but this guy can because he's more underwater than I am. What if I'm more under? You know, it could just create a debate that could get really ugly. And again, it comes down to the cure to this housing problem is not programs, is not intervention. It's cleaning up the toxic inventory, period, so we can get back to business as normal. And the longer that we, like Lee mentioned, amortize this thing out, in my opinion, is the uglier this thing gets. And we have seen, and I did confirm with one of my mortgage guys today, that they are doing the no appraisal refis, which is, you know, sweet. They're getting the rates down, but again, it's Lee. It's the same thing you mentioned. You're like, okay, holy crap, I owe $800,000 on a house that's worth $400,000. What the hell am I doing? What do I do?
Yeah, right.
You know?
The 3 a.m. call, as I call it.
Yeah.
And the statistics have not changed. Literally, on loan modifications, 60% of any and all loan modifications go back into default. 90% of trial loan modifications go back into default. So if those are the numbers, you would have to think that the bank is aware of them, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah. I mean, I would imagine that there's millions of dollars of, I mean, not that it requires millions of dollars of research. The stats are right on CoreLogic that they get for free.
Right.
But I mean, you would think that someone would be looking at it, and they do. And that's sort of like where if we need any transparency, I mean, I think that's where it needs to be at. You guys, we did a webinar on this.
Transparently speaking, I want to say this, transparently thinking, and most people on the call think this way, people think banks are dumb. And I'm not sure where that comes from. I don't know who started that trend. I don't know why people think that the banks don't get it, which is funny to me.
They have to be some of the smartest individuals. I mean, that's why they're in the positions they're in, you know. And we're not anti-bank here. We're pro-bank. Lee's the most pro-bank person. We're just pro-principle on what we think is the best thing to go off on. And you guys, we mentioned this in our webinar. We did the 5 short sale policies that you guys can go and get. I strongly recommend. Towards the end of this call, real quick, I'm going to give you guys, we're going to get you guys onto our platform for free, and I'm going to show you guys how to get the CDAT certification. But long story short, one of the calls we did, this is exactly the issue that we've been saying, that we've been lobbying for, that we presented. It's perfect, and the solution is right here. We just went through it. Realtors will have a direction on the list price. No long outdrawn process. The buyer retention increases, market time decreases. More money for lenders. More people out of foreclosure. Less toxic debt. We've done this. We've campaigned on it. I mean, it's a big deal if that works. Here's some new news. I get this all the time, Lee. And I've seen a lot of realtors be like, do a short sale before the Mortgage Forgiveness Debt Relief Act of 2012 expires on December 20th of this year. Well, it's in Obama's budget, guys. All right, so everyone who had questions on, okay, oh my God, we got to get these short sales done before the Mortgage Forgiveness Debt Relief Act expires. Of course it's going to get extended. Without, so it would be a political debauchery, you know. It would be just a mess. So if you see in this article right here, I just got this yesterday, 2/15/2012. It's actually in the budget, which, thank God, we actually have a budget, Lee. A budget came out.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So it's in there, you guys. So just know that is on the radar. You guys will get that question. I think that's important. And if you don't know what the Mortgage Forgiveness Debt Relief Act is, know it. But basically, it's the forgiveness on any 1099 liabilities that has always existed in the IRS code, but now it is basically saying, okay, we're going to put it in writing too. All right, so ding, 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 ding on that. Look at this. This is, again, 215. I got this yesterday. I wanted to congratulate this real estate group. They've actually put in a short sale department in their company. Wow. That's, you know, how you guys, okay, and I'm not trying to be sarcastic. I am literally applauding them. I've had you, how do you guys not have a short sale processing end, not only to your business, but sort of systemized within your brokerage shape? How does your broker not have a short sale end on there? I mean, this is 2012.
Mike, why wouldn't you just have a homeowner advocacy program at your brokerage?
I don't know. I mean, you guys sort of see where we're going to. This is sort of what I teach people how to do on our power days. And you guys have no idea. It's a whole nother business. It's a revenue stream. It's great. But I don't want to get more into that. But Arizona's got a 54% underwater negative equity problem in their state. Okay, I just showed you that on the stats. And the fact that companies and real estate agents and brokerages are actually doing something about it and setting up their agents for success, hint, 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 is great, I think. I think this is great, that people are actually helping and they see the problem and they see how to cure it and they see how to make money on it. That's awesome. Congratulations. This is cool. CoreLogic recorded a 4.7 drop in home prices in 2011, okay? The prior year, you guys, was a 13.8 decrease. My prediction a year ago was going to be around a 7% decrease, so I was a little bit off. But again, you guys, I'm always in the news. I'm looking and seeing what's going on. Like, I know Illinois takes the top seed for the highest level of depreciation with an 11.3% of decline. That tells me where my market is. That tells me where I'm going to market. That's a mailer that I'm going to send to my homeowners. That's a marketing piece that I'm going to post on Facebook. You see what I'm going with this stuff? Everything can be marketing. Always be marketing, okay? But stay in the news.
Let's rephrase it. Marketing is just actually education. At the end of the day, that's all really good marketing is.
Yep.
That or a testimonial about what you've done to help somebody. But beyond that, that's all marketing ever is.
Yeah, and that's what advocacy is, Lee. You just lead and tell the truth. If you tell the truth and you lead with a helping hand, your business will follow. But you have to tell the truth, and you have to leave it down your hand, and you have to educate. So yeah, you guys can see what states are not big foreclosure states, like Montana, you know, and the few people that live in Montana and South Dakota. Great, but you should know where you guys are at, you know. The numbers don't lie, you guys. This is pretty straightforward. All right, I'm going to show you guys how to get how to get onto our platform. I'm going to walk you through our platform. This is not the time where I'm going to ask you for $5,000. Quite frankly, I don't care if you guys decide to join CDAT Plus or just join the CDAT free thing. But what I do care about is that you educate and you spread the truth, and that you I'm able, if I can help 2 people on this call today, great. I'm all for it. And I'm going to walk you through the platform you're going to have access to today, and I'm going to show you how to get on there, okay? So on the database, okay, you guys, it's the database marketing system. If 25% of your market is underwater, think about it. How many deals are within your database? Marketing is not complicated. You can get it done pretty easily. How do you market online? There's all the Facebook, content creation, Lee's marketing mailer that works and is awesome. You'll have access to that video and that mindset.
Direct, let's use the terminology correctly, because I don't want to be lumped in with those mass mailing jackoffs.
Oh, yeah.
I do direct marketing. It is based on a technique called the monster. The monster is designed to get up to a 50% callback.
And that's why he calls it the monster, because it's not rocket science.
I call it direct marketing. I never call it mass mailing. I never call it mass marketing. I call it direct, and it's singular. I think you only need 100 names, which should cost you less than $100 to get per month.
Sure.
The people I coach and that I teach who pay a whole hell of a lot for my services, you know, it's about very refined, direct action and calling yourself an advocate.
So
and
Lee,
being very specific.
Lee, basically with your students that you originally tested this thing out, they're getting an 18% return. So you're saying that if I send out 100 mailers,
Actually,
I'm going to get 18
it's
calls.
actually a little bit higher than that. The actual quote that I give, but you get into this whole thing about promises made and promises delivered. I'm going to say this is my caveat. It's based on your 61-day delinquency list. Okay,
Yeah.
all of you who are using real data and work in NOD lists, you can certainly go watch all the videos I've shot on psychology and mindset of who to market to. But if you're getting a pre-NOD 61-day delinquency list, you should get a 50% callback from the door drop, and you should get a 20% conversion ratio overall.
Then
it's about 22% actually.
Then you just need to know what to say to them, pretty much.
Well, I've actually removed that because I don't even like people scripting anymore.
Yeah.
Now my new and I call it the Ultimo. It's what we're testing right now in my coaching group, which is it's more of a concept, which is okay. Now, how do I put together a package, capture their email, and start them on a drip campaign? Because truthfully, I don't think many of you have the ability to script correctly. I mean, because what it really takes to show up at a homeowner's door, okay, after you've gotten the introduction, it's a pretty simplistic thing of coming clean, being honest, and being genuine, which I've talked repeatedly as of you, Mike. But agents get scared. They don't know what to say to homeowners, especially those that are new.
Yeah.
So what I'm working on and developing right now is what do I give the homeowner when I meet him face-to-face? How do I get him into a drip campaign? How do I educate him so that they come back to me based on permission-based marketing, which is the highest return period, no disputes on that, okay, where they ask for help. And that's what I'm developing right now. And I'm really close to having basically an auto drip campaign. And Mike and I have talked about this. The next CDAT Plus upgrade will be a CRM that does automatic education campaigns based on, I'm probably going to develop 15 to 20 pieces that will go out every 3 days over a 30-day period once you capture an email address of a homeowner. And they'll include testimonials, video testimonials. They'll all be done evergreen so that anybody can use these and put a homeowner into a drip campaign. Because that's going to have the greatest return overall with the least amount of scripting, with the least amount of time on a far more, so your time is, I say this, work smart, not hard. There's no reason to work 10 hours unless you just don't want to go home. Okay, and you know what I've seen, Mike, and this is the truth, and we talk about this all the time. I write blogs about it constantly. You guys have jacked up your home lives so bad, you don't want to go home. And I get that. I get the fracture. I get the whole, you worry about the bills, you worry about your next closing. So what you do is you work harder and you make work for yourself, which is just insane to me.
Well, it's how you burn out.
There's no reason for anybody to work 10 hours a day for less than 10 files. There's no reason. Or if you got a staff of 2 or 3 people, you should have hundreds of files. Hundreds of files. Not, nickels and dimes.
Yep.
And it's stunning to me.
I agree, man. Affiliate marketing, you guys, that's like all working with attorneys, bankruptcy attorneys. We're going to do a call on that. I could talk on it for hours. Your signage, getting 3 points of contact, all this fun stuff. Again, I'm not short sale agent, the advocacy roles, what to talk about, how to negotiate short sales, the short sale presentation, all that fun stuff, the calculator, so when your deal does get stuck, and I don't care what Lee says, you do have to escalate. You still do once in a while, okay? Not all the time if you do it right, but I still escalate on 20% of my files, and I'm able to do so because I have this freaking calculator, which is awesome. The online listing syndication, putting your deals out there, this is all the stuff I use, you guys, on a daily basis.
The biggest deal to me, of everything that we have, and I talk about this all the time, for every one, let's say you have 8 to 10 listings, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then you should have approximately what, based on the math, Mike, 100 buyers?
Yeah, well, the way that we're set up, and you guys, this is really like exactly what I do in my day-to-day business is each distressed listing, the reason why I like distressed listings is not because I could close them, but it's because they pick up another 2 to 3 transactions and buyer leads that I give off to my agents. Okay, so I'm just creating leverage there. And I'm able to hire more agents and keep them busy because everybody wants these properties, and the in through the door is to get these properties. And how I get those leads is by syndicating them online with the same software that I'm giving you. That's it.
Right.
The same QR codes that I'm giving you. All that stuff.
I want to cover this because the general format.
Oh, we're going to cover it next week. We're going to cover it next
me on
week.
this.
Go
Hold
ahead.
on, hold on, hold on.
I'll
I
let
wanna
you
say
go
this
for a little
because
bit.
I had a friend who literally worked 50 hours doing open houses last week.
Why?
50 hours. 50 hours of open houses. Want to know how many viable buyers she got out of 50 hours of open houses?
1.5.
That's correct. You're a very smart man.
Well, if we took that open house and said we're having a auction date on a distressed property, I bet you she would have picked out 10, but that's another story. And marketed it that way and positioned that way. But signage, you guys, you should be using QR codes on your signage, all that stuff. The pre-owned OD leads, we want you guys to have good data. That's where Lee hooked us up, so we got good data on that. This bothers me because the students we have, I tell them to take advantage of it. Anytime you guys are stuck with a deal, I walk you through it, literally. I'm not going to give you my contacts. I'm not going to give you, that's for my top level people. I'm not going to give you every bank contact that I have because I have all of them. But I will tell you what to do and how to do it. And I will help you with your marketing. You just have to ask me a question. And people, absolutely, I take them and work with them. You get to talk to me and Lee once a month. Lee, speaking of your management campaign, you could do it in the CDAT machine. Okay, you could build out a squeeze page, and you could set that squeeze page up with an autoresponder right here, which is a mobile marketing number. And then you could do a drip email campaign directly off of that.
Yep.
You could set all your direct mail up, and you could mail directly for here.
I want to talk about, go back one slide. I want to talk about this for a second because
There you go.
meet so many agents and I rebuild so many offices. If you have a display website right now, I want you to go to Alexa.com. And I want you to type in the name of your website. If you are ranked below 3 million on Alexa overall, then you literally have no visitors to your website. And even the few people that hit your website are looking at your website, they're not taking action. The point of the squeeze page is to capture the email, okay, give them an education, capture the email, okay, and then start them on an educational process. But what does 99% of the agents do, Mike, when they get an email address? What do 99% of agents do?
Don't follow up, and you need to follow up in a drip campaign, and that's what this thing does for you. Well, that's what's crazy. That's what this thing does. It's a mobile marketing tool. So not only does it allow, like basically when someone opts into the squeeze page that you built off the CDAT platform, you guys, and this is what my agents are doing. They'll get a lead off the squeeze page, but it automatically text messages and emails that person into a follow-up campaign without you having to do so. You know, if you want to chase that cold market, which is going to be 30% of your business statistically, you have to have these types of technology to capture them. So when you implement Lee's marketing campaign, right? And this is an example, and we're going to go through all these in details on the next upcoming calls. I'm just showing you guys what's in there. But if you do Lee's campaign, Lee's going to send that person to a squeeze page. You give them the free report that you have 3 books to white label within the site. That's the money magnet to get them to opt in their information to you. They give you the lead. You're able to follow up with them without you having to do so. And then you follow up with them when you have time. And in exchange, they get all the valuable information that you want, like their alternatives to foreclosure, the truth on the short sale process. It's all done for you.
Absolutely. Literally every multi-million-dollar marketing book that's on the market today, and I've read them all and I listen to them all because I have nothing but time in a car, they will all tell you the same thing. The more you give away, the more you get.
Yep.
The greater the giveaway, the greater the reward on the back end. That is 100% across the board. Now, if you couple that, I'm going to give you Dan Kennedy multi-million-dollar marketing technique, okay? If you're not telling your real story about who you really are, honestly and genuinely, you're going to fail. But if you couple all these concepts, being real, being honest, being genuine, telling your story with whatever kind of marketing you're doing, okay, and you're doing it with consistent follow-up, and you're, Mike says, what do you say, about 30 touches email-wise per year?
Well, my sphere of influence is 36 times a year, and that's the database section, and it's really simple.
I make it easy for them because that's like every other week. Every Thursday or Friday, send out a real piece. Send out a real piece that's honest and genuine, and start the campaign. I'm stunned at how many emails everybody has captured, and they just don't follow up. It's like a running joke at my seminars. I can pick any agent out of the room and go, how many email addresses do you have? And they could be anywhere from 25 to 2,500 on any given day from the person I select. The next question is always, when did you send them an email?
Well, Lee,
I sent them a newsletter last month. A newsletter. Good Lord.
here's what most agents fail on is they don't take advantage of the technology. So like you can see in my thing right here, I have a yellow letter, and all I gotta do is press send, and this thing is gonna send it out for me. So I'm not spending my time stuffing, stamping, and sealing and delivering any direct mail pieces, you know. And then they have all the marketing library stuff in here. You just tweak it to your own liking. I mean, it's really done for you. This is pretty cool. You could market all the sell points. You upload your property and automatically distributes them to all of these websites, in addition to the other viral agent marketing things. So this is the stuff we use in our office, you guys. Track your short sales. You do need some file tracking and online document storage. There's autoresponders. There's all kinds of stuff in there, right, guys? But in a nutshell, what I'm telling you guys to do right now, and I'm going to go to the site and show you how to do it, is you guys don't, if you guys want the plus, you can go ahead and upgrade that right now, $297 and $97 a month. If you don't want the plus, that's fine. Just get your certification, and you'll still have access to a lot of that content on the site. Just the plus members are allowed to have most of our, they have everything on the site. My PowerPoints for attorneys, strategic alliances, and that's what I'll be going through the next couple of weeks. In addition, Lee and I are going to be live in Sacramento on March 23rd and Orange County on April 19th. I strongly suggest if you are in these markets, you attend these events. They're going to be a full...
I strongly suggest it because it's interfering with my trip to Italy.
Oh, you're going to Italy?
I was.
Not anymore. Not
anymore.
Yeah, but we'll give you guys a certification in person and whatnot. And I want to stress this to you guys genuinely, okay? And the certification thing, if you guys are looking just to have a certification to put on your business cards, then that's all you need. Don't get the 297, okay? Honestly, we don't want you to have it. Now, if you're going to actually grab this market by the horns and take onto it, I'm going to take you from 0 to 60 in less than 2 seconds because this is my entire office back end, all right? So Agent Redefined is a complete system. I don't care about the price. I don't get rich off this stuff, but you know, and if you're in Chicago, it's not available for you. That's my deal I have with my partners. I'm not allowed to do that. I'm going to actually go, Lee, right here to the website, and then I want to open this up for Q&A, and I want to show you guys how to get your certification.
Also, can you run through the funnel, because I think everybody's used to the old site.
Yeah, I'm gonna show them right here. Absolutely.
Great.
So you guys are gonna, basically what's gonna happen, you guys just go to click. This is all you gotta do. Get certified now. We had some website issues in the past, and go ahead and like our page, and you could take the test right here. Okay. Once you take the test, and I strongly recommend it for your own doing, take all of the. Once you log in here, you're gonna get an email. Okay, and you can take the test right away or not, but honestly, this is in your own interest. Watch all of the videos and the training videos on here. These are where you're going to get the answers to the tests and everything. And it's about 4 hours of training. And it's really, really good stuff. I mean, I can't stress it anymore. And people fail to do that. But it covers from the marketing angle to the loss mitigation angle, just to the default advocacy angle. And that's it. You'll get an email with your username and login and password. And then you simply come in here, all right? And you're gonna have your username and password. Once you have that stuff, you're gonna log in, and boom, this is what you get. Okay? So you're gonna get all of this stuff. And again, the Plus members have access to all of this stuff. They have all the forms, all the documents, everything. Okay? But the free members, you guys will have access to a limited amount of this stuff. Okay? And you got to click on some of these things.
I want to make this clear so nobody is sketched out about it.
Sure.
For the free members, you don't need to put in a credit card. I know we're converting you out to a new setup. The reason we're doing it was there were so many of you, we had to build a bigger website. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you guys could have everything in there. So again, if you are looking to take it to the next level, get the plus, okay? If you're not, don't get the plus. You just need the free thing. I don't want your money. But that includes all the stuff that's over here, so you guys know. And I'm telling you guys, there is about 2 weeks worth of content on the site. People are amazed at how much stuff is behind all of these buttons here. And it's, I can't stress it enough. I documented the last 2 years of my business online. Sorry, that's what I did, okay? So this says everything on here for you guys, okay? So it's going to take a long time. Start from the left, work your way all the way to the right. The short sale courses here, it's a 130-page manual, the white label reports. I mean, everything's in there. So I did want to, so no one has any questions on this, okay?